and welcome back to Arma Reforger. So today we're going to be talking about settings and ways you can fix your lag. I've been playing a good amount of Arma Reforger the last couple weeks, and I've been dealing with some issues with the game freezing when it's loading in all the big assets, which I still haven't fully fixed, but I've gotten it to where it's a lot more manageable. Because before my screen would lock up for like 2 seconds at a time before everything would load in. So I've been able to kind of fix that. And I've also been able to boost my FPS quite a considerable amount. I'm running at a 2K native resolution and get anywhere from 90 FPS to 140 FPS. But for my mid-tier system, that's pretty good. So I'm going to jump in and kind of show you what I've tweaked in my settings and what works for me. So right off the bat, we go straight into video settings. Render scale, I am running at 100. I did try to run it down to 80%, and just got blurry for me, and I really didn't see much frame rate improvement, so I went ahead and just kept it at 100. But if you're noticing some latency issues, some FPS issues, maybe look into dropping it down a little bit, but you are going to lose quality as you're running away from your native resolution. Next, fidelity casts, I have that turned off right now. I don't know why. The Fidelity FX system does not like to run on my GPU very well. If you have a newer GPU, maybe try running this. I'm on a 6900 XT, and it just seems to not like it at all. VSync I turned off. I capped my FPS at 144 just so my GPU doesn't run at 100% all the time. If it can hit 144 FPS, it'll just relax. Draw distance. This is a big one right here. Draw distance is basically how far out you can see. I dropped mine down to 1450 because I'm not sniping too much. If I'm sniping, I might increase this up to like 2000. But in general, most of your engagements are going to be at a less range than this. But if you feel like you need to increase it, you can, but it will affect your FPS quite a good bit. Next, we have nearby depth of field. I have that turned off. My 2D scopes, I have that turned off. Software cursor off. This one is an interesting topic, and I'll cover both real quick, is the post-processing anti-aliasing. I have it turned off. And I have hardware anti-aliasing turned on at 4 times. It looks so much better with hardware anti-aliasing, and I actually get better performance. And this is where a lot of that lag was fixed for me. But if you're having issues and the hardware anti-aliasing is affecting your FPS too much, maybe try turning hardware anti-aliasing off and then running post-processing on. But that's something you'll have to play with. This is just what works for my system. Depth of field quality, I keep that off. Ambient occlusion off. Cast shadows, no. And then space reflection, low. The only reason why I run cast shadows off is it does solve a lot of that lagging issue, but you won't be able to see shadows of players. So that's something to put in, take into account. Next, foliage smoothing, none. Model geometric details, lowest. Object draw distance, high. Terrain surface detail, I have that turned off. That's just like the tessellation, what the texture on the ground. I don't really care about that. If you want it to look a little bit prettier, maybe bump that up to like medium. The rest of these, I run them on low to medium. You can see here. Texture detail, the game really looks good. Still on low texture detail. If you want, bump it up to medium. I'm just trying to push as much FPS as I can since I'm recording at a high quality video recording too. Grass draw distance, I have it at 150 meters. You normally don't need it much more than that. And honestly, it gives you an advantage because if someone's hiding in the grass at 200 meters, you can see them still. So shadow quality, I run that at medium. Draw distance shadows low. Render target format standard. Environment quality low. So that's how I run all of this. And like I said, I get a good amount of FPS. My audio, I haven't touched much. Music volume, I just keep down because I don't like in-game volume, but everything else I've run the same, and it works good for me. Sometimes I'll come in and I'll bump voice chat down and then dialogue down. Everything else, I like to keep it just on high, and then I control it with my soundboard elsewhere. HUD visibility, this is kind of my settings here if you guys want to look at this. I don't like to show any of my stats when I'm recording just to keep the image more clear and enjoyable to look at. I keep my HUD the same, the voice chat. I do turn off the text chat, but here's all those. I just keep everything basically turned off. The only thing that I keep importantly is I keep name tags, HUDs, and vehicles enabled. That way everyone can see those things. But those are my settings, and my game looks pretty good. From what you can tell from my recordings, I think it looks pretty decent, and it runs super smooth now. So I only have a couple lag spikes here and there, but that's just Arma, always has been. So I hope that helps, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll be having some more uploads coming up in the next few days.